really has changed quite a bit as well.
Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a Ram 1500, and more importantly I'm going to be explaining to you guys whether or not you should buy a used Ram 1500. So that all being said, let's just get right into it. So for my first recommendation on the Ram 1500, I'd recommend you get the 5.7 liter Hemi V8. So for that particular engine, it has 395 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. If you get it in a truck that's a 2013 or newer, then you're going to have the 8-speed automatic transmission, which is super solid, and that's what I say. So 5.7 liter Hemi V8, that's the engine to get, and a plus is for the gearing, get the 3.92 axle ratio. Now the next thing with the trucks is going to pertain to the front end. Obviously, if you can get the new body style, get the new body style so you guys can get the LED lights, because the LED lights are absolutely fantastic. If you're going for the old body style, these are going to be the least desirable lights just because they're not that bright and they're halogens. If you could at least get a package that has the projector halogen bulbs, you're going to be a lot happier with the visibility. But again, the new ones with the LEDs, that's going to be the best for the front end. And then in terms of whether or not you get like the chrome accenting and all that, I think I would just leave that up to you. Like, that's kind of like personal preference from a design standpoint. Now I'm going to go over the tires, wheels, and then suspension on the Ram. So my first recommendation is get the standard suspension. So this one has a standard suspension. Do not get the air suspension. That's just asking for trouble long term. They've made the system a lot more reliable, but still I'd recommend just the standard coilover suspension. It gets the job done, and reliability is going to be so much better on that. Now for the tire and wheel setup, that's going to depend. This is obviously kind of more like a street setup for a truck, so it's okay to have the 20-inch wheels, or, you know, just bigger wheels in general. But if you want to do like an off-road setup, I'd recommend 17s or 18s, and then upgrading the tires is going to be huge. The tires that come with these trucks from the factory suck. You can see these ones are definitely a lot better just for overall use and everything. But yeah, that's what I'd definitely say, is just upgrade on the tires. Now the next little thing is going to be the side steps. I'd recommend getting it for just any truck in general. The tubular side steps are awesome. The flat, like off-roading side steps you can get in the Rebel, those ones are pretty cool, but they're expensive. And other than that, that's pretty much everything for like the side of the truck for recommendations. If you guys weren't convinced earlier with the Hemi and getting the Hemi, well, this will definitely convince you to get the Hemi. I mean, just listen to that. And yes, you guys will get a reference clip a little bit later, but yeah, the Hemi, it's definitely the route to go. Now with the next set of features, the dual outlet exhausts actually come with the Hemi as standard, so that's another reason why you get the Hemi, because it looks cooler. Towing capacity on these trucks is actually super solid. So for this generation of truck, if you have 392 gears, and I'm talking about a crew cab configuration, so not a two-wheel drive, but crew cab, four-wheel drive, all that kind of stuff, you're going to be about just over 10,000 pounds. Now if you get the newer body style, you're going to be just over 11,000 pounds. So towing capacity regardless is pretty solid on the trucks. If you're wondering about payload on the older body style, again with a crew cab and four-wheel drive, you're going to be in the, you know, roughly 1,400, 1,500 pound range. And then if you get the new body style, it jumps up to like 1,800 pounds. So yeah, you get pretty good payload with these trucks as well. Now these Trifold tonneau covers, absolutely love those. That's just kind of like a random aftermarket accessory that, again, I'd recommend with the trucks. One thing that this one doesn't have that I would recommend would be to get a bed liner. Spray and bed liner is great. I mean, that just applies to any truck. Obviously it's going to protect the bed and all that kind of stuff, and you won't get any rust with the scratches. So yeah, spray and bed liner, definitely recommend that. And that's all for that part. Now coming here to the back, we're not going to focus on the door panel and all that kind of stuff like normal. What we're going to be talking about is the seats. So you guys can obviously get cloth seats like this, or you can get the leather seats. If you're okay with the cloth, I actually recommend the cloth seats. They're really comfortable to sit in and they hold up really well. So just from like a seat configure, or I guess material wise, that's what I'd recommend. Now the biggest recommendation actually is me going to be popping in here, and that's going to be the cab configuration. Yes, you can get a single cab, yes, you can get a quad cab, but I think the crew cab is just the route to go. That's what most people are going to purchase these trucks in anyways. But you guys can see this is the older body style that doesn't have as much room, and yes, I'm filming without any shoes because that's the life that I live. Anyways though, you guys can see there's tons of room back here, tons of headroom. Just from like a practicality standpoint, getting the crew cab is definitely the route to go for these trucks, and that's what I have to say on that. Now, before we pop in, the one thing that I would recommend with the mirrors is if you are going to be towing a trailer, do get the trailer tow mirror. And by the way, for the 2021 model year, I believe that they're giving this the full like power folding function and 360 camera. That's what they said they might do, but yeah, these are just great for towing. And then actually coming to the front, again, like I said earlier with the seats, the cloth is great, but if you want to get the leather, that's great. I would recommend getting a packaged Bighorn or above so you can at least get power adjustments for the seats, because all the other packages just don't have power adjustments. And yeah, it's just a really nice feature to have on the seat, just being able to do power versus the manual adjustments. And then the steering wheels, they're never power adjustable, which is kind of sad, but yeah. Well, even though the video is not really about this, I still will show you guys the startup, because why not? Man, that steering wheel cover life. But regardless, in terms of the stuff here, again, if you get the Bighorn or above package, you actually get the rocker panels on the back of the steering wheel so you can control the radio stations. Now, the old body style, you could only get like standard cruise control, no blind spot monitoring or any safety tech or anything like that, whereas the new body style, you can get adaptive cruise control, you can get blind spot monitoring and all that kind of stuff. And if you get the new body style, at least recommend blind spot monitoring. The other stuff, I'd leave that up to preference. And that's kind of my recommendation there. I know that doesn't really relate to the steering wheel, but some of the controls are on the steering wheel, so we're gonna make it relate to the steering wheel. And also, automatic windshield wipers, an awesome feature that you can get on some of the packages. I would recommend that just for like ease of use. Now here in the center, obviously you guys can see the standard gauge setup with the RAMs, with the RPMs on the left side and the speed over on the right side. Now the more important stuff is this truck has 33,000 miles, still running strong. And this truck, by the way, tows all the time. And I'll show you guys like a quick clip of the trailer. You guys saw that actually at the first part of the video, but you can see the fuel economy that the truck is getting with towing. So just take that into account. Obviously, it's supposed to get 15 around town and 21 on the highway without towing, but with towing, the fact that it's still getting 11.6 miles per gallon, I think that's actually pretty solid for the truck. Most trucks will go into the single digits once you tow, and when you guys see the trailer later in the video, you'll kind of understand. Now, my next recommendation is to get a truck with the 8.4-inch screen, and here's the first reason. That's the backup camera. Now this truck has parking sensors too, which I wouldn't make that a necessity. Just the backup camera, it's gonna help hooking up to a trailer a whole lot easier, and then obviously it's gonna make parking a whole lot easier as well. So that's a huge feature that I'd go for. And the reason I do it in the 8.4-inch screen is just because of how big it is. Now the other cool thing about this screen is just how easy it is to use. It's basically like a kind of like miniature iPad. And this truck is a 2017, and you can see the screen still feels modern, all that kind of stuff. Do get dual zone climate with the Bighorn. Well, you can get it with the Bighorn package, and you can actually go to the backup camera whenever you want. So yeah, definitely recommend that. I recommend the 8.4-inch screen, and that's that. Now coming down to this area and going over this whole section, when you do get the upgraded package, you actually get a power outlet up front, which is pretty cool. Dual zone climate, pretty important, especially if you're married or have a girlfriend. Just trust me on that. Get the dual zone climate. The tow haul mode and the trailer brakes. So the tow haul mode comes with all of them. Trailer brakes is optional. If you are towing, definitely get it, or you can get it added on after the fact pretty easily. Now coming over here, the dial shifter, that is going to be on some of the 13s. Everything that's 14 or newer is going to have the dial shifter. Just get used to it. No, you're not going to confuse this for the radio controls. Trust me, I've never done it. Now down here, most of the packages will come with, if they're like the higher packages, so Bighorn and above, will come with a 4-wheel drive auto. However, the Rebel does not, but everything else pretty much comes with the 4-wheel drive auto. I think it's okay, but I think just getting 4-wheel drive truck in general is just gonna be good. You can take it off-roading, and yeah, that's kind of pretty self-explanatory in the 4-wheel drive, I feel like. For the seat configuration, this one has a bench seat up front, so you actually have like storage space at the front here, and then this also goes into a third seat. I think that's okay, but my recommendation is to get the center console, unless you need this, but at the same time, it's not the most practical seat to use. So my recommendation on this whole part is to get the center console, especially in the new trucks. The center console is absolutely fantastic. So 2019 or newer, that's kind of the route to go on that. If I come up top here, the universal garage door opener is pretty neat. This feature though is super important in my opinion, is the power sliding window, just for airflow, and then also access to the bed and all that. And if you have a dog, you'll understand the airflow thing. But yeah, it's super good, and if you get the Bighorn package or above, then you will get a power sliding window. So I think this is just me telling you to get a Bighorn or above and not get a Tradesman or Express. Well, now that I'm done going over the interior on this Bighorn, I'm gonna quickly go over the pricing with the Ram 1500s in the market, and then I'll show you guys the trailer quickly. So, first off, in terms of the pricing on these trucks, right now it kind of varies. So a brand new truck can sticker all the way up to like $70,000 for a fully loaded one, but usually they have discounts off of MSRP. Now, obviously this video is going to be about used ones. The new body style trucks used vary in price. They're anywhere from in the $30,000 range up to the $50,000 range. I really don't see them going for much more than $50,000 used. Now for trucks that are in the old body style, they're anywhere from the $30,000 range all the way down to the teens. Now, trucks that are in the teens usually have quite a few miles. So if you want something with relatively low miles, expect to be somewhere in the $20,000 range. Obviously, if you go older than a 2013, then it kind of drops down from there, but we're kind of focusing on the 2013 plus for this video. So yeah, that all being said, let's take her out and talk about her driving. Well, there's Zero being annoying, but here's a quick look at the trailer. It's about 24 feet long, roughly, and travel trailer. It has an extension that comes out. If you guys want a full review, let me know, but there's the trailer that the truck tows. Quickly talk about visibility here on the Ram 1500. So visibility over the hood, this really hasn't changed even with the new body style. The hood looks a little bit different, but the visibility is the same. Same with visibility through the mirrors. Now in the new ones, you can get those like smaller power folding mirrors. Visibility is still great on those. There's your visibility through the other mirror. Then also here's throughout the rear again. This is pretty similar to the new body style. There's a little bit better visibility there, but I mean, again, it's pretty similar. And well, that all being said, let's set off, but not through the fence. Well, I'm setting off here in the Ram 1500, and now what I want to talk about when I'm actually driving the truck is kind of, I guess, more comparisons between the old body style and the new body style. So first off, if ride quality is super important to you, the new body style is going to be the better route to go. The old body style is smooth, but the new body style is significantly smoother compared to the old body style. And so it's like a night and day difference. Like it's literally like going from just a regular everyday car to a luxury car. Just the ride quality difference is huge. So if ride quality is important to you, the new body style is definitely the route to go. Now the other stuff is the steering. That really has changed quite a bit as well. The steering on the older trucks is just as direct as the newer trucks, but it's not as light. The new trucks just have this like really nice lightness to the steering rack, and so it's a completely different experience in general. And so again, if you want like, just again, more of like a luxury car feel, then the new body style is definitely going to be the route to go. And holy crap, there's so many Raptors. Raptors everywhere. I miss mine right now. The next thing is the acceleration. You can't tell the difference. The new body style does weigh a little bit less than the old one, but the acceleration just, I mean, it feels identical. You really just can't perceive a difference between the two trucks, and it's because they use the same engine, same transmission, and they just kind of did a different body around it, which is still great. Like the engine transmission is great, but they didn't give the new body style any extra power, which is kind of sad, but it's okay, right? And the next thing is going to be the towing. So you guys saw the trailer that this tows, and the truck just does a great job. You guys saw the fuel economy numbers. If you get 392 gears, the truck just does fantastic with pulling with this 5.7 Hemi. And from a braking standpoint, it also does really good with the brakes. Obviously you want to get the trailer brakes and all that kind of stuff integrated with the truck. And yeah, so just in general, the trucks are really solid, and there hasn't been any issues with this truck. This truck has just been on regular maintenance, and believe it or not, and I should have mentioned this when we go over the front end, this truck has actually just completely, well, it hit into an animal, and it was a deer, completely obliterated one of the sides of the front end, and no issues from that. No electrical issues, no issues with the engine or anything. The truck's still perfect from that standpoint. So from the reliability standpoint on the Rams, they're super solid as well. So I guess just kind of like giving you guys like a picture overall on the truck. Tow's great.
sounds good. I recommend the bigger cab configuration. I recommend getting this set up for towing. Obviously, if you are going to tow with the truck, the Hemi is the option to go for from an engine standpoint. Reliability on these trucks is really solid, and so if you're looking for a truck, Rams, they've just done such a good job, and that's all.
That is going to sum things up for our video today on the Ram 1500s and whether or not you should buy a used Ram 1500. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I will see all of you in the next video.